Weird requests to stay the night by my mill. I had a couple random memories pop in my head tonight that I had never really connected in regards to my mill. When my husband and I got married, we spent our wedding night in a fancy hotel and then left for a road trip the next day for our honeymoon. When we were on the way home, my mill called and asked if we wanted to spend the night at their house that night since it was on the way to our house. We were driving like 12 hours that day, and our house was only about 30 minutes further away from her house. The logical reasoning was that we were going to their house the next day anyway to open gifts. Anyway, so why not spend the night? I'm like, no, it's only a half hour further to our house. Let's go home. I don't want to stay at my in-laws' house as a newlywed. Lol. Especially when we were enjoying being newlyweds several times a day at that point. Wink wink. Rolling on the floor laughing. That one wasn't so bad but freaking weird emo. But this next one makes my blood boil. Fast forward several years and my in-laws were watching our oldest kid while I had our second in the hospital. She was born in the middle of the day. Everything seemed fine. But by the next morning it was obvious she was having some issues and got checked into the NICU. She is mostly fine now but has some medical issues, but it was by far the hardest and scariest week of my life. Plus the postpartum hormones making my moods fluctuate a ton. My daughter was only a day old in the NICU, and my mother-in-law texted my husband to ask him if he wanted to spend the night with our older kid that night so he could sleep better than on the crappy hospital bed, and because our oldest would have loved it. Honestly, how dare she? Our kid was in the NICU. We didn't know how bad it was yet. And I wasn't even discharged yet myself, and she was trying to ask him to leave me so she could have him to herself? In quite literally the hardest and most vulnerable moment in my life. When I could barely even walk from the kid ripping me when she was born, breaking my tailbone, and I was pumping every 2 hours and barely sleeping? Are you fucking kidding me? How dare she? This was like almost a decade ago, but I'm fucking pissed when I think about it. Lol. My husband obviously shot that shit down fast. Also, my in-laws are very wealthy. And when they eventually brought our oldest to see us at the hospital, since we were there for about a week and missing him like crazy, my husband asked them to bring us some non-hospital food. Of course they didn't offer. They also didn't ask where we wanted food from and just told us what restaurant they were going to get it from. Whatever. That's fine. I liked the restaurant anyway. I asked for my favorite dish there, but they told me they were just going to get a different dish that was on sale that day. They couldn't spend like $4 more on my favorite one after I just birthed their grandchild? Like I'm not even worth that? And I saw them yesterday. Complained a bit about hurting my leg from doing some yard work. And she of course offered me a stupid herbal remedy that she knows I'm never going to use. I just said no, and then she told me how wonderful it was and that she never takes pills, and I was just like, lol. But seriously, how dare she ask my husband to leave me and our NICU newborn alone at the hospital?